Hello, here's the progress I made on the giant Whimshurst machine. I got one of the Leyden jars done. I got my handles, my contacts, my neutralizers, my discs with all the sectors glued on. I got my brushes with the screws that are going to go in them. So now I just have to put all these things together. So I have to add the crank, the pulleys, the rubber bands, and wire everything together. I tell you, gluing all these sectors on there was a pain, and I got spray adhesive all over the kitchen table. I basically had to take each sector, I had to lay the shiny side of the foil down onto some newspaper, and I had to spray the dull back side of the foil. And then I had to take the sector and place it on there in exactly the right place. Yeah, this Whimshurst machine came with a set of instructions that said if sectors fall off, you can glue them back on with some spray adhesive for like photos and that. And it said if the sector falls off and gets lost, you can use Reynolds heavy duty foil, and I remember it specifically saying it doesn't have to be pretty. And if you're going to make a Leyden jar capacitor out of a 5-gallon bucket, you don't just take the whole sheet of foil and wrap it. What you have to do is like lay sectors of foil on there. You can see where it's cut there and cut there, and you just glue them on and flatten it as best as you can. You basically have an outside grounded layer of foil and an inside ungrounded layer of foil. There you can see how the sectors go on and how the bottom's made. And you just hang a chain down in the middle. And these brushes just mount right onto the Leyden jar right there. Yeah, you have the outside foil of your Leyden jar capacitors grounded. You have a positive charge in one and a negative charge in the other. And the voltage difference just causes a big arc between these two terminals. Pretty much you fill the inside layer of foil full of electrons, and there's no electrons in the outside layer of foil. And all the electrons from the inner layer of foil want to do is jump across to the outside layer in an unlimited amount of current. And with Leyden jars this big, if there's enough electrons in there, it can stop your heart. If that generator right there is considered dangerous, this is considered really dangerous. I'm going to have to be very careful with this generator. And depending on how well this thing works, we might get some 3.5-foot discs and make one of these out of some 55-gallon plastic barrels. As Otto Rocket once said, go big or go home. And you betcha we're going to hook it up to the Marx generator. Now I know what Robert Van de Graaff felt like when he built those huge Van de Graaff generators for the museum. So here we have our classic Whimshurst machine. You got your contacts where the arcs go, you have your Leyden jars, you have your 2 discs, you have your neutralizers like that on both sides. And there's your collectors going to the Leyden jars and contacts. And when you turn the hand crank, these discs spin in opposite directions. We'll cover how this works later on when I finish the big one. Well, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Remember, always be safe if you're going to do this stuff.